Stop! Today's video is not about shredding at all. I know, it's crazy. Yes, when I started out, I was immediately drawn to those challenging technique exercises we talk about weekly on this channel today. But I actually neglected a couple of really important workouts at the beginning of my guitar journey. And I definitely paid the price for that later, because I basically had to restructure my entire technique from scratch to get to the point where I'm at right now. If you're subscribed and part of our YouTube community for a while now, you know about this journey, and a lot of time was wasted. And all of that really tedious extra work and lost time is exactly what I want to save you from with my work that I do on this channel. So this video is not about your typical beginner spider exercises, note location exercises, or anything else you've heard about millions of times already. It's about picking technique and fretting hand technique basics that constantly get overlooked by thousands of players. So please learn from my mistakes today as we check out 3 exercises I wish I knew as a beginner guitarist.
From easy to hard.
Today's exercises deal with one of the biggest technique problems I've seen with myself over the last couple of years and with pretty much all of my students. Really unlocking your wrist when you're playing for a super effective picking motion instead of working with your elbow or even with a full arm motion like that. And today's video is also about one of the biggest fretting hand technique mistakes or frustrations, muting the other strings while you're playing and also avoiding that nasty unwanted noise when you're playing with distortion especially. Now, when you play fast for the very first time, you will actually identify this as the fastest way to success. I hope I don't break any strings. So just pushing really hard with your elbow or with your entire arm even. But as you're getting better and after breaking a couple of strings, you will also realize that you're generating tons of unwanted noise because you're constantly touching all the other surrounding strings when you're playing like that. You can't switch between the strings correctly. String skipping is basically impossible because you're constantly stuck between the strings if you don't use your wrist. And as you heard with all the bad examples I tried to demonstrate, you always sound really aggressive and stiff. So you don't really have a way of introducing dynamics into your playing. It's always this huge and super aggressive motion that probably doesn't fit every single piece of music. So instead of going for those classic 3-note per string workouts as a beginner right away, or for sweep picking even, I wish I worked on something like this much earlier. So that might look quite easy and harmless compared to all the other insane stuff we looked at recently. But trust me, it's actually not. This exercise is all about timing, mid-tempo alternate picking with wrist motion, string skipping and fretting hand muting. So quite a lot of things to keep in mind. So the reason why I love to recommend workouts like this is because you basically can't play them with that kind of stiff full arm or elbow motion. That sounds pretty bad. This only works if you're loose and relaxed. As you can see, the motion is coming from my wrist when I'm playing, and I focus on transitioning fluidly between the strings. Let's do it a bit faster. So playing something like that as a warm-up for a couple of minutes will do wonders for your wrist and for your picking hand in general. This is also the most important tempo zone that is often neglected in practice routines. A lot of my students got the shred or sweep picking basics down, but struggle immensely with playing easy material, tight and controlled at tempos around 120 beats per minute. Because they either practice really slow to learn a new workout or really fast to push their skills, when in fact the area in between is needed the most in a practical context when you're actually playing music. Which directly leads us to the next and even more important exercise. Okay, so at this point I should probably say around 70% of the awesome people watching these videos are not subscribed to this channel yet, and they sadly keep missing a lot of exercises and really cool videos that way. But I will say something different today. 30% of you awesome people watching my content are already subscribed, so thanks a lot for being part of this journey of unlocking the ultimate guitar technique and theory secrets. But let's keep inviting the others to the party, maybe they will join us on our epic and awesome quest. Alright, so exercise 2 is a bit harder already. This one takes the string skipping and string transitioning concept to the next level with a really awesome sounding arpeggio riff. Check it out. So when you play this one for the first time, You will realize that it's actually quite hard to hit the right strings when you alternate picking like this. And once again, this is an awesome exercise because it's pretty much impossible to play this with an elbow motion or with a full arm motion. That makes your life much harder in this case. So another really awesome workout to get rid of bad picking technique habits. This is the sound you want when you speed it up a bit more. So a really cool and quite musical workout with those arpeggios for your picking hand technique. But maybe you've seen it already, your fretting hand also has to work really hard with those shapes to keep the notes from overlapping. As you can see, when I'm playing the exercise, I focus on economy of motion, so I keep my fingers close to the fretboard, but I also don't curl my fingers as much as I usually do to make sure to block any strings or notes ringing through. This obviously also helps a lot with avoiding unwanted noise when I'm playing this fast with distortion. So I highly suggest adding this one to your practice routine in case you want to work on your wrist motion and on your string muting skills with your fretting hand. As always, you can download the exercise video play-alongs in different tempos, backing tracks, guitar profiles and PDF tabs on patreon.com/BERNTH. I upload extremely helpful files like this for every single weekly YouTube video that I publish, and additional in-depth guitar courses are also added for you at least once a month over there. So click the link in the description or in the first comment below to join our awesome community of over 4,000 dedicated players today. Let's work on your guitar skills together from now on. So the third exercise concept I wish I worked on much earlier is something that is completely ignored by the majority of rock and metal guitar players. Working on special patterns like the one I'm about to show you would have unlocked my wrist much sooner on the journey. So what is this third and probably most difficult topic all about? As you know, we're mainly connected to the guitar because the picking hand wrist is resting on the bridge in most cases to quickly switch between palm muted and open notes like that. So resting your picking hand on the bridge like that is the most common way of playing in this genre, and I can absolutely recommend it. But as you know by now, this exact style of playing often results in that elbow or full arm motion. I was surprised at how difficult it was for me to play basic funk patterns, although I was already getting into shredding a couple of years ago. And it was even kind of challenging to play basic strumming patterns on acoustic guitar and really staying in time. But really awesome exercises like this one helped me with eliminating those inconsistencies quickly. So this is the basic alternate picking motion. But for these rhythm patterns, you're essentially placing your hand and arm like this instead. So your wrist is not resting on the bridge, it's floating in the air like that. And that way, this kind of motion comes very natural. And in my experience, it works much better than trying to play funk patterns like that or even like that. That's a bit too crazy, I guess. So let's check out this motion in action once again and see this pattern performed a bit faster. That feels so much better already, and I'm really warmed up by now. So this is not just about becoming a funk guitar player. If you don't enjoy this kind of music, it's about getting that wrist unlocked and ready for any playing style. So if you're as guilty as I am when it comes to constantly ignoring incredibly powerful and important workouts like this, always going for the shiny, crazy stuff instead all the time, make sure to get all of your practice files for this lesson on Patreon today and start eliminating those technique blind spots right away. Trust me on this, it will greatly pay off with anything you're trying to master on the instrument. Before you go and leave me today, that's actually quite depressing, I have another random German word for you today. We didn't do this in a while. Insel.
Insel. Info.
This means island, a nice word you might even need this summer. Make sure to share it below to confuse everybody who didn't watch this video until the end. Thanks so much for sticking around and for coming back to these videos. Leave a like in case you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe so that you stay updated for the next awesome videos that I'm posting. I hope that they will be awesome. At least I will try my absolute best as always. See you all soon. Have a lot of fun practicing. Bye bye. Alright, so exercise 2 is a bit harder already. Harder already. Alright, so exercise 2 is a bit harder already.